Is the OnePlus 12 still worth picking up? I say yes, absolutely, without question. I absolutely love this device. I mean, oh man, just look at it. Like, let me just say this, y'all. I do not like the design of the OnePlus 15. I don't like it at all. I think that thing is straight ugly. Ain't no getting that in hand and it, looking better. No. To me, this was OnePlus best design device I've ever seen, honestly. And now, of course, that's subjective, but that's just the way I feel. This thing is just absolutely beautiful. It looks like eye candy. It looks like a piece of jewelry, expensive watch. I just love it. I love the silver trimming right here that comes out from the camera and then it just overlaps and melts right into the side of the frame. This is something they removed from the OnePlus 13, which I did not like because that phone still looked, pretty much the same as this, except they took away this silver ring right here. And I really like that. I just like the look. And then the silver trim around the cameras. I just like it. Most, reviewers didn't get the white one. They always got the green one or maybe the black one. But I love this white one. I just love it. I just wish they made this like just wish it was like burgundy color and then gold accents. That would have been really cool. But I'm loving it. I think it's still worth it. Now, just to let you know about something new that OnePlus did with this, they improved the always on display. Yes, they did, y'all. OnePlus stepped up to the plate and they improved the always on display. Now, it still needs one more thing they can improve on, but I'm just saying, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to show you. Okay, look at this, y'all. Look at those icons. They're in their own color. They're small, but they're in their own color. Now, I just got an update with the OnePlus to, I think, version 16, I believe. And when I got finished uploading this and all that, and then I looked at my always on display and I seen these notification icons in their own color, man, I'm telling you, I was so excited. Only thing I would say, I just wish they were a little bit bigger. They're pretty small. OnePlus, if you're looking at this video, can you just make them a little bigger? And also allow the always on display to stay, like give us the option to adjust the brightness to it. Because when it goes dim, I don't know. I like my always on display to be bright. I just give us the option to adjust it, like to go from low to medium to high. Just give us the option. The brightness that you see this now, this is the way I always want my always on display to look because it's easy for me to see the date, the day, the battery percentage, the time, and my notifications. But these need just to be a little bit bigger. Or give us an option to make these bigger in the settings. That's all I'm saying. But thank you, OnePlus. Now, my Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, they're actually bigger than this, but you can't get all of them because of Chinese ROM, unfortunately. But I just respect OnePlus for doing that because they didn't have to do this, and I appreciate them doing that. All right. Also, why I think it's worth picking up? Well, also, OnePlus added AI. Now, that's something that's big now out there for a lot of people. I don't really care because I don't really use the AI, so it doesn't matter to me. But I know there's people out there that loves to use the AI, and OnePlus finally put AI on their devices. Let me show you what they did. OnePlus's version of AI. So you got this AI search, search across vast amounts of information with the AI search, and you have the AI writer where you could turn your thoughts into text. You got the AI translate, where you could communication. You can communicate across different languages. Like if you go in here, you could use a female voice or a male's voice. You could adjust the voice speed, from slow to medium to high to normal or whatever, wherever you want to do. You could turn that up.
Thank
Excuse
you
me.
for using Translate.
Ah,
Enjoy the robust translation services we offer.
yeah, you just heard that female's voice, so you can use the male voice.
Thank you for using Translate. Enjoy the robust translation services we offer.
So that way you get to hear which one you want to use. And I downloaded, all these different languages, uh, ch- um, to translate to English. So you got Japanese, Korean, French, Spanish, Vietnamese, Italian, German, Hindu, Vietnamese, Thai, Spanish, and Indonesian. These are all the ones that are currently are available right now for you to use. Also, you have the AI voice scribe, record, summarize, and translate. And this says AI service provides updates and running services for AI algorithm and plugins. So I mean, this is just at least it's a start because prior to this, there was zero AI on this device, and we know Samsung is the leader. When it comes to AI with their devices, and then I would say probably Google. But AI is leading the way. Their AI is so much more advanced than everybody else's. Now, some people may disagree and say they feel as though it's the Google, the Pixel, but I don't think so, just based on my experience. But OnePlus has AI now, for those of you that care about that. Next thing. Now, why do I think this is still worth picking up? Keep in mind, this is a flagship device that is using the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3. Now, I'm telling you right now, man, you talking about fluidity and smoothness. I'm telling you, this phone, I can't say it's the smoothest because Vivos are just as smooth, and even my Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is just as smooth. But I will say this: all the ones I just mentioned are all smoother than my S24 Ultra, which is smooth too. But the animation on this and the fluidity on it is just different, and it just feels better to me. Now, of course, I already talked about the design. I absolutely love this design, and I really didn't want them to change it, but I understand that from the OnePlus 11 to the 12. Well, they only use this design. They used it three times. I'm sorry, they used it for the 11, the 12, and the 13. There wasn't no OnePlus 14. They went right to 15. So they used it for 3 years, and they figured they needed to change it, which they did. But I don't like the new design at all. I think it's very, very ugly. Now the build quality with this, you're getting Gorilla Glass Victus 2 with the aluminum frame, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the build quality on this device feels so good. I mean, it's so comfortable in the hand because the corners are nice and rounded off. It feels like just quality when you're touching it. Now, of course, I'm usually always using the case on my devices, but I mean, I like the thickness, I like the weight, and I know, a lot of people nowadays they want, some people want the thinnest and lightest phone. I don't. I don't want a super heavy phone, but I want a phone that just feels a little bit, substantial in my hand. I want some thickness. I don't want no super thin paper phone, and I want a little bit of weight. But the build quality on this device is really, really good. The button placement is also good. You see where my thumb rests. Now I wish it was just a tad bit lower. And I'm only saying that because I got short fingers. Some people, if you have medium to long fingers, you're not gonna have an issue with it. Not that I'm having an issue with it, but just a tad low would be perfect for me because I have to kind of reach, I have to kind of stretch to get to the volume. Now, most time my volume on my device is always at 100%, so it's not the biggest deal, honestly. But the button placement is good because everything is on the right side of the phone. Remember, OnePlus used to separate them. It used to always be the power button and the volume rockets used to be on the left. But now everything's on the right, and I love it. All right, and speaking of left side, you have that slider there, the alert slider, which can go from ring, vibrate to silent. Unfortunately, with the OnePlus 15, they removed that for some type of button that does an action or whatever. And I mean, I don't care honestly, but I prefer the alert slider, even though I always keep my phones on vibrate 100% of the time. But it's just nice to have that option. and I don't like that they took it away. I hope they bring it back. Also, the IR blaster. I love that there's an IR blaster on this device. I love it. I actually use it, and it definitely comes in handy whenever I need it. If I can't find my remote, turns my TV off, can mute it. It functions like my regular remote. If I lose my regular remote, I don't have to worry about it because I got everything I need here. And let me see. I'll show you something real quick. All right, so I got it set up for my Vivo TV downstairs. My LG, well, this is for LG TV I used when I was traveling abroad and I was in a hotel and I was able to use it, which I loved. And of course, my Samsung TV in my bedroom. And when you hit this plus button right here, you can see all these different things you could use with the IR blaster. So it's not just about TVs, but you can use a multitude of things to control with this IR blaster, which I absolutely love. Now, the face unlock is very good, way better than Samsung. Samsung's face unlock is trash. I'm sorry, it's just trash. Now, did I turn the? Oh, I didn't turn the brightness down on this. Sorry about that, y'all. I forgot. Now, I do like while we're here, I do like how big and easy it is to see your notifications and the way they kind of slide. Like they operate a little different. The animation is different than the Samsung, but I like it. Now Samsung's I like a little bit better, but I like theirs too. And you hit the X, and when they go away, you feel a little vibration. I like that too. All right, so the face unlock is fast, it's accurate, it works at pitch black darkness, and then just the slightest look on my this thing can get me behind the camera easily. It's excellent, way better than anything Samsung does. They just cannot get their face unlock going well for some reason. I don't know why. The in-display fingerprint sensor also works very well. It's not ultrasonic, but it's an optical, but it works very well. You just tap, I mean, literally just a tap. There's no tap and hold. You just tap it, boom, it pops right open. And I don't know if you can see it, but you got haptic feedback and you get an animation. You can change the different animations, which I like that. And with the always on display, I already talked about that with the notification icons, they're all in their own color and that they're on there, which is excellent. And of course, with this wonderful 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus AMOLED display, HDR10 Plus, 1600 nits sustained brightness. And now that's something I really love a lot because this device gets very bright, and that's without having to hit an extra brightness button. Now, my Samsung S24 Ultra is not as bright as this phone. It doesn't have the sustained brightness of this device. I have to use extra brightness to achieve the brightness that I want. But this phone, I don't have to do that. All I got to do is crank it all the way up. It gets just as bright as I want it to get. Also, Dolby Vision, 510 pixel density. This display is absolutely gorgeous. 4,500 nits peak brightness. You got image sharpener and you got video color boost. So the display on this device is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And when you notice around the borders of this display, I mean, it's almost bezel-less, okay? Because the bezel is so thin. It is slightly curved, which is not an issue for me. There's people out there that really like curved displays. Now, let me say this about curved displays. I like them too, but now that I have the S24 Ultra and it has a flat display, I'm honest. I gotta be honest. I'm actually liking the flat display a little bit more now because it's actually giving me more display too, because it's not spilling over to the sides. When it's up straight, you're getting a little bit more display. You just saw it. Let me show it to you real quick since I got it right here. I mean, of course, this is already just a bigger, wider, and taller display, in general. But because it's now flat, you're just going to get a little bit more display. And I like that. And it's without a case, it's easier to hold in the hand than a phone with a curved display. That's just my experience. Your experience may vary, may be different than mine. Now, let's talk about these dual stereo speakers. These dual stereo speakers on here are great. They really are. They get nice and loud. You get that nice full stereo sound. The balance very well. I absolutely love these speakers. They get adequately loud as well. I mean, top quality. Now they're they're good like my Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, but my Xiaomi 17 Pro Max speakers are even better. These are really good, but those are even better. They go to a whole nother level. So I don't know why Samsung just can't make speakers that sound like OnePluses or Xiaomi's or now Vivo. They don't do too good of a job when it comes to speakers. Like at least not the ones the devices that I have currently. The speakers are just not that great. But Xiaomi know how to make speakers. OnePlus know how to make speakers. Of course, ROG know how to make speakers on their devices as well. I never had an Oppo. That's something I do want to get eventually. Is an Oppo device. LG, of course, made great speakers. With the LG V60 stuff like that. But I don't know why Samsung just their speakers are loud, but they lack the fullness, the depth, the stereo sound. They just lack that for me. Let's talk about the battery life now. 5,400 milliamp hour battery. I'm easily getting 2 days and over 8 hours of screen on time between 2 days of usage. Easy, not a struggle for me, not a problem. Battery life on this device is excellent. The RAM management is also excellent, also, and you can also expand the RAM from 12 gigs all the way up to 28 gigs. Now, of course, that's going to take up some space from your storage. But if you already get one with 512 gigs of storage, like I do here, it's not going to be a big deal, and your apps will stay open in the background for days. That's how good the RAM management is on this device. And I already talked about, if I didn't talk about the performance, silky smooth, fast, very responsive, zero issues. This is one of the best performing devices that I have. Not the best, but one of the best. It's right up there. It's right up there at the top. I mean, it's excellent. Like the slightest touch, man, everything is just booting up super fast. I mean, and it's super fluent. Like every time you go in and out of apps, oh my goodness, I love the way this thing feels in my hand. It's just, oh, it just feels like silk. I'm telling y'all, it feels so good in the hand. The performance on this device is so nice. And you got that 120 hertz refresh rate. Ooh, listen, if you were ever on the fence about getting a OnePlus device, I'm telling you, get off the fence and go get it. That's all I got to say about that. When it comes to wired charging, now I got this off of Giztop, which I had it imported. I now in the States you get an 80 watts of super fast charging, but I got it off Giztop, had it imported. I'm getting 100 watts. And why is that important? Because this thing from 5%, which is I usually don't let my battery die to zero. I don't. I usually go all the way down to 5%, then I'll recharge it. From 5% to 100% in 28 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. So you don't have to charge this device overnight. All you got to do, you can just let it completely die or let it go all the way down to 1%. You wake up in the morning, you put on the charger. By the time you come out of the bathroom, your phone is ready. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm still getting 2 days of battery life, even with charging it at 100 watts every day for now over a year. Okay. Now, my battery degradation, my battery level now is 99% because it dropped to 97%, but when I got my software update, it automatically jumped back up to 99%. That's impressive. I like that. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I love it. Also, super fast wireless charging, 50 watts from 5% to 100% in 44 minutes. And that's what I use. I say primarily 98% of the time is the wireless charging because I just put it right on that stand and it's fully charged in less than an hour. And I like that. Now I use wireless charging all the time. That's why having wireless charging capabilities is so important to me. And also you get these transition effects. Now, this is just one of them, the rolling barrel. I really like this one, but there are at least five, so you can change it. All you do is hold on to this, and you see down here, it'll say widgets, wallpaper, layout, home screen, and then you slide. Let me see. Let me. Okay, let me. Is it layout? No, that's layout. Sorry, y'all. Let me see, because I haven't done this in. Okay, that's wallpaper, widgets. I know it's in the settings. I thought it was down here, but it's in the settings where you could change it. But I like having that. I wish Samsung would put something like that with One UI. I don't know why they won't give us no transition effects. They won't give us no haptic feedback with the fingerprint sensor, no animations. They give us so many things, but won't give us these simple things. I mean, a lot of stuff that's in good luck, I don't really care about. But something like this, I really would like. I mean, come on, Samsung. Now, software, there's still 2 more years left of software support on this device. So, 2 more years software and security updates. You're going to be good for the next couple of years, which I think is great. But also, anyway, it's going to be great anyway, honestly. Like I said, as long as you're not using public Wi-Fi, use Wi-Fi at home, and you're using AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, you should be fine. Okay. And these cameras, look, I know OnePlus was never known for having great cameras because they weren't. They was always, just struggling to make really good solid cameras. But let me say this: when I got the OnePlus 8 Pro, that's when OnePlus stepped up their game big time because that thing took really great photos and videos for me. Now I'm not speaking for other people. Some people are gonna say, well, the cameras are not all that and they're okay. I'm saying for me because everybody likes what they like and everybody sees things differently. But for me, these cameras are absolutely great and they're consistent. That's what's really important to me. Not just you get a couple of good photos and a couple of good videos here and there. It's about consistency. Are they consistently good? No, these cameras are consistently great. Okay, you got the 50 megapixel wide OIS, 64 megapixel periscope telephoto OIS, three times optical zoom, 48 megapixel ultra wide, shoots video 4K 60 frames, 1080p at 60 frames. You can zoom up to 120 times and the photo quality is still pretty good. 8K recording at 24 frames, which I think it should be 30, but it is what it is. No big deal. And you got the Hasselblad color science. Now I noticed with the OnePlus 15, Hasselblad is no longer working with OnePlus. I don't know what happened to their partnership, but on here you still got the Hasselblad color science. And with the course with the selfie camera, you got a 32 megapixel wide, shoots video 4K at 30 frames and 1080p at 30 frames. Now that's a disappointment for me. No 60 frames per second for 4K or 60 frames per second for 1080p. Now that's a disappointment because I'm okay with 4K at 30, honestly, but no 1080p at 60. That's disappointing. That really is. And of course, you got the Aqua Touch. So if you get this display all wet up, it'll still work. Okay. You can use it like you always use it, no problems. And I don't, dump my phone in water or nothing like that to try to prove the point, but it does have it. It's called Aqua Touch. So these are all the reasons why I think this phone is definitely worth picking up, honestly, over the 13 and also over the 15. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. It's just my humble opinion because this device, the design is the first thing I love about this device is the design. I still to this day believe it's the best looking OnePlus device ever made in my opinion. Okay? It's beautiful and it feels so good in the hand. Just quality, and I love what OnePlus did. Now, well, all my notification icons are gone, but I love that they improved that and they dropped a few, some AI in here. But when it comes overall with the design, the build, the performance, the cameras, the speakers, the battery life, the battery charging speeds, all of that, this is definitely worth picking up. Definitely. If you can get it for a good price. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.